Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to be looking at the Hong Dian N6S. Now on eBay they call it, in some of their shops they call it the N6X, but this pen has N6S on it, and so that's what I'm going with, and that's what I'll show you that here in a minute as we take a look at the parts of the pen. Okay, this pen retails on eBay anyway. I bought it for about $26, $29 with tax. But depending on the shop that you get it from, it's anywhere from $25 to $39 if you want the long knife version. It comes in extra fine, fine, and long knife. So the materials of the pen is metal, basically in all parts. Now this the barrel it seems awfully light, so that may be aluminum, but the rest would be probably brass, and it has this lacquer. It's like a matte finish on the barrel, and the cap is kind of in between. It's not glossy, but it's not quite as matte as the barrel, but it's pretty close. And then the finials are that glossy finish. And what attracted me to this pen was, I don't know what it is. I do like black pens. The stealthy look, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I like these red bands that are on it. It just kind of sets it off, gives it a little bit extra something, a little extra visual appeal, kind of sections the different parts nicely. Again, it's a basic cigar shape. It does have an ink window because it is a piston filler, and I appreciate that. The cap comes off in, you're going to like this, about 1 1/4 rotations. So that's really nice. And again, it is a threaded cap. These are metal threads on the grip section, and then you have a plastic insert inside. The nib is a steel nib. This is a number 6, and it is a fine. On the description of the nib there, just taking a look at it, it has a filigree border with that Hong Dian flower. I don't know if it's supposed to be a lotus flower or not. And then it says 1997, and then an F for fine. And then at the bottom there, it says, see if I can get that in there a little better. Anyway, it says Hong Dian. Is this pen postable? Yes, it is. And it posts very, very securely. It is a little bit back weighted, but not too bad. The pen is plenty long enough to write with unposted, so that's what I do. One of the nice things about how it posts, when it posts, you're not posting on this blind cap here, so you're not going to be turning the piston at all. The colors of this pen, it comes in this all black, and then it also, you might be able to find one with a gold cap. I was kind of hoping to be able to find one with the gold cap, but the one shop that I saw it said it was sold out, so it may not be very readily available. And then they have another version that I think it has a gold cap too, but then it has white. So, just something a little bit different. But the white, I only saw it in the one shop. So the measurements, the body length from nib tip to body finial is 130 millimeters. The body girth is 13 millimeters. Capped, it is 143 millimeters. And posted, it is 158 millimeters. The grip length from the threads up to just below the hilt, so this matte finish part here, that is 19 millimeters, and if you include the threads, it comes out to about 23 millimeters. Grip girth right here in the middle is about 11 millimeters. So it's a nice, the body girth being 13 millimeters and that grip section right there being 11. I think for me, it's a good hold. So if you like them, like your pins on, I wouldn't necessarily even call this a large, but medium to large size, you're gonna like this. And it's a little bit of weight, but like I said, I think they use, because you got the mechanisms in there, which is going to add weight. And then I think, my suspicion is that they're using aluminum for the body. It would be easier to cut these holes in probably for the viewing window. But anyway, so it's a nice weight on that. The weight of just the body is 19.5 grams. So, it's not too bad. Overall weight of the pin is 33 grams. All right, how about some size comparisons? Here you have the Hong Dian N6S. You have the Hong Dian N23. You have a Lamy Safari and a Hong Dian 1860 Black Max. Here they are uncapped and posted. Okay, as for a writing sample, we have the Hong Dian N6S. This is a fine nib. The ink is Diamine Red Dragon. No hard starts, no skips. Pretty smooth writer, a little bit of feedback, but it is a fine nib. But for a fine, now right now I'm using Rhodia grid paper and grid pad, but on the Rhodia regular pad, line pad, it's a little bit smoother. As far as wetness, yeah, it's a juicy nib, which helps as it's a fine. It gives a little bit of, it kind of lubricates that fine line, but it still gives you a decent line there, decent fine line. So if you like fine nibs, you would like this. All right, how about reverse writing? It does that well. And it keeps up. All right, let's see. As far as line variation, steel nib, so it's not going to give you much. But if you need a little more saturation with your writing, get a little bit darker, you can do that. All right, yeah. Fast writing keeps up. Alrighty, so yeah, it's a pretty smooth writer. No complaints there. I'm not a fan of fine nibs. I prefer medium or even broad, but for a fine nib, it is a 0.5 millimeter type of fine nib. So, you know, it's not too bad at all. All right, I'll come back for some closing thoughts on this Hong Dian N6S. Overall, what do I think about this this Hong Dian N6S? I think I like it. It's a you know, it's a pretty standard Chinese pen, but Hong Dian puts out some pretty good writing instruments. So I think Asvine owns them, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, I could very well be mistaken. But either way, Hong Dian does pretty good with their nibs and so forth. And I think the style of the pen is nice. You know, gives you an ink window there, which is helpful. And you know, the grip is metal, but it's kind of that brushed or that matte finish there, so it's not slippery at all. The overall stealth, if you like those stealth pens, the look of them, I think you would like this. I did a survey on what color pens people prefer, and black actually came out on top, and you know, by a fair margin, so even over blue and definitely green and red. But so yeah, I think it's a nice pen. The clip, I forgot to go over that. Yeah, in fact, on the cap, I totally forgot to go over the cap. It just has those some Chinese characters, letter characters there. The clip is a washer clip. It's firm, but it's very usable. And then on the band, it says LT Hong Dian N6S. Yeah, sorry about that. I went right into talking about the nib and I forgot details on the cap. I apologize for that. But again, overall, I think it's good. I do wish they'd have a medium option on the nib. They do have the long knife. The long knife helps, but that kind of goes from, you know, a thinner line to a real thick line, and so I don't know. Having a medium would have helped, and I know that Hong Dian makes the medium. So the piston is a little bit rough, but you know, it's kind of chunky. It's not real smooth using it, but I'm kind of wondering if I took that apart and put some silicone on the rubber there, if that might help. But again, it's smooth writer. It's a cool design. Has the ink window. It's not too heavy, but if you like a little weight, it's there. But if you like a lighter pen, unposted anyway, it is plenty light. Posted, it gets a little bit heavier because you got that metal cap. But overall, I like this pen, and I thank you for watching. Check out these two videos, and you have a great day.